So the two flag bearers are out on the park there with the Fijian and the Irish flag. And the teams come out together, as is traditional at the Under-20 Championship, the Under-20 World Cup, where the teams come out together. There is no home and away team. And for many of these players as well, these conditions are, or these stadia are ones they've not really played in before. Just bear in mind too that Irish players will be wearing black armbands, and we're going to have a minute's silence fairly soon following the tragic death of Greg Oliver, the father of Jack Oliver, the scrum half of the Fijians, who sadly died yesterday in an accident down in Cape Town. They're also wearing black armbands to commemorate the death of two 18-year-olds in Greece, and two young guys that were at school and know many of the Irish players. Our condolences go to the family of Greg Oliver.
If possible, please remain standing.
We will have the national anthems now of Ireland and Fiji. So what we do await right now is the cultural exchange, which is reminiscent of the New Zealand haka, where the challenge is put out to the opposition by the Fijians. And the Irish will stand steadfast in defense thereof, and obviously their response to accept the challenge and see if they can come out victorious today. Interestingly enough, these are the only two teams where the Rugby World Cup Under-20 has never been played in their country. And here's a wonderful gesture as well of the Fijians handing over a jersey to the Irish in commemoration of the death of Greg Oliver yesterday. It's a fine gesture.
Right to my. Right to my. Don't tell the boca. Don't tell the boca. Don't tell the boca.
So that's the challenge then. That comes from the Pacific Islanders. Teams will regroup, but the Fijians, as is traditional as well, they hold the ball aloft, everyone's hands up on the ball as their last gesture as well, and their hope for some good luck in this particular match. We know the Fijians are very, very serious about their rugby. They're also serious about their religion and have very, very strong beliefs. So Morne Ferreira is our ref, as we mentioned a little bit earlier. He'll be supported by Ben Breakspear from Wales and Stefan Geldenhuis from South Africa. Our TMO is Brett Cronin from Australia. Morne Ferreira, who's actually refereed in the Six Nations as well as the World Sevens Series. So it'll be Ireland with the kickoff. Matthew Lynch is at standoff half for the Irish, starting immediately with a pretty deep kick in. In fact, it's a great kick that puts all sorts of pressure on the Fijians. Philip Basalala is at scrum half for the Fijians, who find themselves in their own 22.
Last feed green.
Made sure that they've secured the ball.
Use it.
On the 10!
Standing at fly half, there's Isaiah Ravula, who gets it safely into touch. With me, former Springbok prop forward Rob Kempson. Rob, a good start to the day with the previous match that we had, which was a real contest. This one, the Fijians, they seeded 11th, so they really not in a great position. They haven't always played good rugby, but they're capable of producing some magic.
That they certainly are. We've seen them around the Seventh Circuit and what they can achieve with that. It's just their set piece, particularly line-outs, tend to be a factor in the game.
Now, well, that's where they struggled the last time out. These two teams met in New Zealand, where the Irish won 3 penalty tries because of illegal defensive work of the Fijians. And here come the Irish now. This is a very good pack of forwards. It's a very good team too. Will be spurred on too by the tragic losses that have occurred in the last couple of days. Everyone playing for the Oliver family. Playing and praying, of course.
It's offside.
But it's close in now that the big battle comes for the try line. They are just that close. The Irish, the dive through. Now, was that ball grounded? Dan Barron with a pickup, I
10
think.
offside.
So Ravula was the man who was offside, and the penalty to Ireland, who probably would head for the line out, wouldn't they?
I don't think they're going to opt for posts. Down in this area of the field, they tend to want to come away with 5 pointers, if not 7.
That would be a good start to their day too.
Look at in the middle of the line out, please.
It's good defence from
Line to
Fiji,
middle.
managing to hold out the Irish maul first up, and a couple of pick and goes. Defence for the moment holding intact.
Thrown from Danny Sheehan, finds his marker. It's a penalty.
Double banking in the line out. The supporter has just got in behind his jumper. Fine lines, eh?
Rob, one of the great things for Fiji this tournament has they've converted 100% of their kicks. So Ravula at fly half is a very accurate goal kicker. He's in fact the nephew of Richie Mononga of New Zealand.
They've got right in behind the jumper, just not allowing the opposition to have a fair crack at him to sack them all.
Well, the throw in from Nyanoma is over the top and over the back. The Fijians want to just keep their error rate down. It's one thing that they don't want to have. There's problems with that. Now the little chip kick through, that might run into touch in goal. And so it does, so they'll come back.
Captain option.
There's an option for the captain.
Scrum or 22.
He's surely going
Scrum
to
or
take the
22.
scrum. It's quite a way downfield.
Scrum or 22. 22 option.
Oh, they've taken
Yeah,
the
no,
22.
I think they'll go for the 22.
Just would have got a lot more territory with a scrum down. Yeah, of course, they immediately release the ball to the opposition. Well, in most cases, Ravula will probably try and kick it as far as he can. And there's the deep kick in onto Sam Berman, who's on debut today. He came out as a replacement. Of course, the Irish have got a couple of red cards during the course of this tournament. So they've almost run out of players.
Take him back.
Oscar Corley with the pass. The Fijians often like to run from these positions. But the defensive wall of Ireland very quickly organised. Ravula. And that's not out. Taken there by Matthew Lynch. Looking for some support. Coming back in field was Andrew Osborne. And then carried up by Joe Hopes. He's with Evan O'Connell in the lock positions. And they've got another penalty. Well, again, Fiji have got to be careful with the penalties they give away. They've conceded far too many during the course of this tournament. Safely into touch then from Matthew Lynch.
Fiji on me.
Want to get some points out of this. Fair amount of pressure going in. No question about the offsides.
Clear access to the jumper.
Brayton Leg just trying to retreat
in the
there,
middle.
but getting in the way of the ball carrier.
Come in.
So Danny
Come in.
Sheehan now with a throw in.
Here we go. Coming.
He of Munster. There's 11
Over the 15.
Leinster players in this squad. And half of this team is from Leinster too. The Irish run-on team. Very well organised team. This is Diarmuid Mangan, the captain of the team. Quickly out from Cordy. Oh, it's all about defence right now for the Fijians. Time will come where they might just release it a little bit wider, but they don't need to at the moment. They fly for the line and they've got the try.
No, just put it down.
It might be Brian Gleeson who scored that try. And just to go with his player of the match against Australia last up.
Sustained pressure coming in from Ireland. The runners are plenty. This one taken off the fly-off. And a strong carry from Brian Gleeson gets over for Ireland. It was wave of wave. With pressure mounting on the defence of Fiji. And Gleeson manages to get through a number of tackles to get Ireland's first try.
And he really created some comfort for that ball too. Made sure that it was held in an effective grasp from him. Sadly, the Irish have got the worst kicking record at this tournament to date. So Matthew Lynch has a chance to rectify that today. And he's absolutely spot on.
Just coming around the corner, all square up, ensuring they bring those defenders up to the defensive line. And he has a strong carry to get over the line from Brian Gleeson.
The whiz kid Sam Prendergast is on the bench today at fly half. He hasn't had a fantastic tournament kicking wise. And of course, he's a highly rated player and a very good one at that. Now Lynch.
Touched.
And it's excellent kick that from Matthew Lynch. Just hugs the touchline, but they're back in the Fijian half of the field.
Fiji on the line.
Fijians' fingertips got to that, so Ireland will get the put into the line out. Proper attacking option they've got in the back line.
Throw to Evan O'Connell on this occasion. Back's free running. There's a man that enjoys running with the ball too, Harry West, as does Andrew Osborne. Crawley, Lynch, and then just to bring the big forwards into play. West. Oh, that's a really strong tackle there from Finau.
Got advantage.
They've got advantage here. With now Barrett carrying it in, making sure they've secured the possession. They know that they've got advantage now. Osborne. Back in field they go. And they've kept that ball alive initially, but they'll come back for the penalty. And again, Ireland, I presume, will kick for the corner.
Captain. One for high tackle over here, or they're not rolling over there? Oh, yeah.
No, they're not going to take the scrum. They'd rather go for the line out, which is the better option.
So either there or yeah. Okay, Fiji line's yours.
Another chance here for the Irish. Danny Sheehan will get the message of where this ball's got to go in the line out from his loose head prop George Haddon. In between Joe Hopes and Evan O'Connell, they've got some tall timber in the line out, but they're driving excellent, and here they come again, saging for the line. There they go. It's another try.
Danny Sheehan, the driving more. Finally set this time around, no double banking. Still managed to get a perfect set, the height right from all the forwards in behind the jumper. In the pocket is Danny Sheehan. He'll get the try, the second one for Ireland.
So Matthew Lynch with another opportunity from a fairly similar position too. He judged the last kick extremely well. Well, this time he's pulled it past the left-hand upright. But they're into double figures, are the Irish. Rob, just a question too in this tournament as we have a look at that try being scored there. It almost seems like the conditions have favoured the Northern Hemisphere teams who are used to playing in these conditions. You played a lot in Ireland, so you know about that.
And the surfaces as well, Gav. I mean, they do have artificial surfaces now with these lads who normally play on the outer fields, which are generally clay-based, quite slippery as well. So all the fields seem to have almost been prepared for the Northern Hemisphere sides.
Well, it's Fiji now with a strong comeback there from the kick-in.
Turnover's good.
Oh, it's a great turnover that. And still they come, the Fijians. They'll have a lot of support here too, I can tell you, because people like the type of rugby they play.
Leave it green.
Always reminds me of the Kenyans. We'll be hosting the other tournament, the trophy tournament for under-20s. And that will take place at the culmination of this tournament, the championship. Have they got the patience now and the ability to retain possession? The Fijians. Very up there from Magoon. Gravula quickly through the hands to Finau. Now the Irish are being tested defensively for the first time really in the match as such. The big men sort of carrying it up there. Natnora.
Yep. Number 5.
Well, this is really a good test of the defence here of the Irish. Nora again with a pickup. And they've won a penalty. Fiji.
Wait, no.
There's no ways
I have to give you the mark first.
they're going to kick it goal. Tap and go as quickly as possible. They learned that in sevens, didn't they?
Captain,
Just got to get back to the mark. Joe hopes he
you got a
caught off sides there.
over there on the 50. Over there.
So can
Well,
they
there's
replicate
offside.
what we've seen from Ireland at line-out time? That's, of course, if they kick for the corner, which I'm sure they will do.
On the 15.
What about a quick tap, Gav?
Not from a fly-off. Ah, there they go. It will be tap and go. They're banking on those forwards. Brave decision by Fiji. Will it pay off for them?
Green last feet.
Will they find a way through this resolute Irish defence? Pick up and carry, pick up and carry. Spoke about patience, how important that is.
Last feet, green. Advantage.
Irish not on side there. Some of the feet inside the field of play. But they've got to try. And as I said, brave is the word. And
Captain.
brave
Captain,
is the answer.
fellas need to work harder to get back behind the last body part here. This one on number 2. So everyone around the fringes needs to take that half a step.
Now, so the referee's picked that up, Rob. He's picked that up. Moses Magoon with a try.
Well, he's claiming it, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Pick and go. Big body's been flung at the line, and eventually is the loose head prop Moses Magoon that gets over for Fiji. Finally, all that pressure amounts to a try for them.
Well, that's excellent play by the Fijians. Just to stay in this race, they don't want this game to run away with them. Spent a lot of time in these early 15 minutes of the game in their own half of the field. Found their way down. Ravula, who's been exceptional with his goal kicking. Oh, perfect technique once again from Ravula to get the extra 2 points.
Bit of a try fest in the opening 20 here. Fiji pick and go, managing to get through the defence of Ireland. And a really good conversion as well.
Matthew Lynch going down the middle of the park. Ravula now all the time in the world to pick his spot. Hasn't kicked it out, maybe purposefully so. Harry West with a catch. Oh, strong tackle on Mangan there. One of the Fijians has gone down the roof. Might want to blow his whistle. Took a big knock there, but he's back on his feet is Ravana. Irish getting enough possession to make a nuisance of themselves. Out from Corley, Lynch, West, down the line. Now a real chance for Osborne. Out on the left wing. Back in field he goes. Excellent play from the left winger. And the pickup was maybe, or the direction was maybe not the right choice.
In touch.
Well, might have wanted to bring it out to the open side.
Is he on the ground? Who's tapping our player?
No, what's happening?
Excellent play from the men in green.
Bit of sleight of hand to get it out wide. Into the trams, and an
There's your mark.
excellent run down the touchline.
Yeah, break.
Back on the inside, managed to get through the tackle. Just an attempt to pick and go, the knock-on coming from Ireland.
So that's the pool B as it stands at the moment, with Ireland comfortably in the lead if they retain where they are at the moment. Which, if you have a look and do your sums, England and Australia, they have a chance if they get a 5-pointer to go ahead, but then Ireland might still get 4 tries in this game. They've already got 2 of them. That'll give them 5 points. And that'll make it almost impossible then for them to be caught. Bear in mind that the way they conduct the semi-finals essentially is all the teams are seeded from 1 to 12, and then as you finish from 1 to 12, so essentially your top 4 there would constitute the semi-finals. The only 2 teams that cannot make the semis at the moment are Fiji on the field at the moment and the Japanese. They don't have enough points to pose that threat. Vasilala with a put in. Absolutely decimated the scrum there, did the Irish referee, waiting for advantage. Now they've got men out wide. West up from the fullback position has done well. He might have just wanted Nicholson to maybe come in and do a little switch, but the referee's going to come back for a penalty. And that scrum, Rob, absolutely decimated.
The set piece is always going to be the question mark over Fiji. That's the reason for taking the tap as opposed to going for the line out for the earlier try. But strong scrum from Ireland. Gets the turnover, gets the advantage, gets the penalty. And another driving wall to come.
Well, Harry West spending a lot of time in the back line as well from the fullback position. He's allowed to do so because of the possession that the Irish have had. Again, it's a good line out. Again, it's a good set. Again, it's a good driving maul. You can't say yet it's a try, but they're getting very close to it.
On the line, Fiji on the line.
Now their ball's up at the moment, so down it goes. They are millimetres short, the Irish.
It's Fiji offside.
There's the pass, there's the drive, but once again, some courageous tackling there from the Fijians. But they've got the try eventually, Ireland.
George Haddon, as Moses Magoon had done on the other side of the field. George Haddon has got Ireland's third. And just the pressure from the driving maul, from the scrum, the set piece, and the pick and goes. Eventually getting the try. Difficult to defend, particularly with the men surging for the line.
Little Basilala, the scrum half, trying to stop the surge. So up to 17 they are. Should be a tap over for Matthew Lynch with the conversion. But no one wants to count his chickens before they hatch. Well, you could have. He's absolutely stroked it through, and they're up to 19.
Good run in from Devine just to get it a little bit closer. And the pick and go for the line with George Haddon.
The halfway mark then in the first half as Rovula looks to get us going again. Isaiah Rovula. And the Fijians with a little tap down, which is also a skill that they learnt in sevens rugby. Just tapping it down to a player following up.
And Ireland just not getting to the apex of that ball with that jumping pod. Fiji can get up ahead of them, get it back. Probably a little poor from an Irish perspective.
With O'Connell and Joe Hopes, they're two tall timbers in the middle of the lineouts. Also the men quite often that are receiving those kicks. That time the ball knocked down, knocked forward. This is the place to put pressure on Ireland, essentially. The Fijians must know that they've really got to get into the Irish half and hold on to possession, but they need a stable scrum, which they sort of half got on that occasion. Ravula with a run around. quick offload there from Navona to keep the continuity going for the Fijians. Generally have got pretty good skill set, but they've got to look after the ball. Well, they're playing the ball on the ground, holding on there, the Fijians, so the Irish get out of jail. Interesting thing as well, Rob, you know, we've seen the strength of Irish rugby all the way through, up to the senior ranks too, but they only seeded 8th in this tournament, and of course that comes from the previous tournament, which was last held in 2019 prior to the pandemic down in Argentina.
Dennis Sheehan got his hands onto that ball, same one that's been throwing in the line out.
Well, that's not straight. Not that the Fijians will be welcoming the scrum. Oh, well, I'm not sure. Maybe they want to, but they're not holding their own there.
Well, they've gone for the scrum, so they don't back their line out very much either. Under pressure in the scrum, one penalty from it so far.
People often ask me as well about, and I can't give it the answers like you can, but the importance of technique in the scrum. You know, sometimes you might be lighter than the opposition, but you have better technique, which stands you in good stead.
That's the collective as well. Technique certainly plays a role in the ability of number 1 and number 3.
Ravula with the hoist. It's a great kick that onto Harry West. Competition coming from the Fijians, from Nalaga on that occasion with the tackle. They've held on to it, have the Irish. Back from Corley. Matthew Lynch. Just taken back, so he keeps it in field. Now, can they counter-attack from here? This is the Vonavona. In fact, if not, it's Bakalala, the fullback. He's being helped back towards his own try line. So back they come again. Fiji holding on to it. It'll be another hoist from him. This time a torpedo. So it's swinging around in the air. McErlin, who's at fullback, not Harry West. With the kick downfield.
White always advancing. Always advancing. 13.
So the interesting thing there, we look at that number 15, is the number 15 for Ireland is McErlin, and he was actually down to be on the bench today. But the team sheet we were given had West down as Henry West as the fullback. So we take note of that. Once again, it's a throw in for Danny Sheehan. He's had a good day with the lineouts. This time, commentators curse again. Fiji will welcome the opportunity here to maybe get out of their own half of the field. Now the kick across field. Got some tall guys in their side, so often that can be useful. With the knock-on coming from Ireland.
The one thing you can guarantee to expect from Fiji, thumping tackles. And they're putting a number of those in at the moment.
Sam Berman having an interesting debut. Took the knock on that occasion. He arrived in South Africa earlier this week as a replacement.
There's one of those tackles.
That was on James Nicholson. Well, there have been some strong tackles on both sides, and the two teams, well, enjoying a drink of water now too. passed forward by James Nicholson, as well by Sam Berman. So Ireland successful tackle success and looking very, very strong too, and they're looking very well organised, are the Irish. They would have been disappointed with the draw that they had with England in the first game at 34 all, but they gave Australia a good hiding in the next game. So they are growing in stature with the men from the Emerald Isle. Ravula, reduced to doing quite a lot of kicking. McErlean back for it.
Stop 12.
That's a good kick downfield too. It doesn't get the bounce he would have wanted. Goes to Wakalala and then gives it to Ravula. So they remain in the Fijian half of the field. And it will be a throw-in for Danny Sheehan again. Lots of lineouts. Lots of kicking too from two teams that you wouldn't have expected as much. 5 men in the Irish lineout. They're comfortable that O'Connell and Hopes can do the trick for them. Mangan with the, or rather Barron with a pass there, and then uncharacteristic knock on there from the Irish. John Devine from Connacht.
The lineouts not quite going according to plan. This time they won it. The pass a little bit slow to get to the 12 running onto it.
Ulster man Joe Hopes did all the hard work initially.
As they normally do, Gav.
I was waiting for that too. No, Rob, there's a lot of Leinster players in this team. Not too many Ulster men.
Completely outnumbered.
Ravula. A little bit of a show and go initially. One thing the Fijians do have is the ability to weave through gaps too. They find space on the field. Here we go again. Once again, they have that opportunity. Not enough space to work with, but still they come. Good strong running as well from Navona. And they realise it's very important for them to get the next score. Yeah, they've got men coming at pace. Well, that pass has gone forward, so the referee will play advantage here. There's a disappointing end that one feels to the Fijian attack.
It's lovely down the touchline. Sleights of hand, keeping the ball alive. This is Murray.
He's carried really well, Rob, in Moji Murray during the course of this tournament, and he's also made the most tackles leading into today's 6 matches. I think he's had to. He's had no choice. But he, of course, the captain of the side as well, Moji Murray. Now the water comes out, and I'll tell you what, everyone's thirsting themselves too. But have a look at Pool B there, and Ireland obviously in a very strong position, grown in stature as the tournament has progressed. And today, of course, they are playing for their brother.
Let's go, guys.
So our other matches are down at the Athlone Stadium, and there's just been a kick-off there with England and Australia. So all eyes on whatever social media or digital opportunities you have of conveying information to the other venues. for the teams. And this time it's a full go from the Fijians at the scrum. Irish on the back foot, but they've really done well. They've regrouped. Corley. Mangan taking it in and winning a penalty too.
Exactly what Fiji didn't want. They had the pressure on Ireland. They had all they do is exit, giving away a silly penalty. Brian Gleeson, how well did he do at the base of that scrum under huge pressure from Fiji? He really did well to get the pick and go. So a strong carry from Mangan.
Always out. Yeah, but normally we have good balls, but they might do the same.
Referee has a word there with Moses Magoon. So look at the penalties there. Fiji, all of them but one.
Are you in or out?
Another short line out for the Irish. Seems to be working well for them. Helps to open up the game somewhat as well. Captain Diamond Mangan, such a strong runner with a ball. This is Evan O'Connell. And Mangan comes away with it. Really is making a nuisance of himself, isn't he, the captain? Perhaps enjoying the front foot ball that he's getting too. And the last time they were here, they scored a try. Can they do it again? This time the pickup from Haddon, previous try scorer. Irish happy to just pick and go, drive, should I say. And wear the Fijians down at the breakdown point. Just those centimetres by centimetres, and now the change of direction. Still just short of the line. Well, the referee's going to have a look. Somewhere that ball might have been grounded. Bear in mind we've got smart ball technology too.
On-foot decision is try as I do have a grounding. I just want to make sure that the guy playing the ball is actually on his feet before scoring the try.
Okay, on-field try, we're checking for grounding and making sure the player's on his feet.
Agree.
Shoulder to the head there.
Legal counter.
The Irish eyes are smiling at the moment.
Just getting the angers now, mate.
No problem.
Oh, Rob, a little difficult to see where that ball is. There it is there. The ball was carried to or over the line. That's clear, as the referee said. Did the player...
Mornay, stick with your on-field decision of a try.
Thank you.
Could see a lot more than we could. The try being awarded. Very difficult to overturn a try once the referee has said it has been.
Might have been a little bit difficult too to work out who scored the try, but it looks like it's been given to Brian Gleeson.
Again, this strong carry after strong carry. It is Gleeson that gets his hands in it. It's actually a better angle that from the rear. So he's on his feet and he managed to get the ball down.
So second try for Gleeson then. And that's the fourth try. So that's already a bonus point for the Irish, which they'll be really happy with on the stroke of half time. Lynch with 2 conversions to date. Now going to make that 3.
That's Brian Gleeson in picture. 2 tries to his name in the first half.
Well, it looks like the Fijians are going to bring on a replacement, which is perhaps unusual at this stage, just before half-time. And it's going to be Nalasi that's coming on. Okay. As Rob Kempson's pointed out to me, it was a knock on the head of one of the Fijians. Ball bobbing about all over the place. Novula. And it goes from Basilala. Nice efficient service from the base of the scrum from Basilala. Now they come, the Fijians. They've got some extra men. Basilala was waiting for it, but they got quick ball. Have they got enough men to do the trick here? They found themselves in this position a little bit early on and then conceded a penalty. Better play from Fiji. Taken up by May. Mavula. Looking to sidestep there was Finau. That way through the Irish defence. Good clean out as well from Fiji. Just to open up things for the scrum of Basilala. A real test now for the Irish defensively. One thing the Fijians do when they've got the ball in hand, they run very hard at you. They try and almost take you out of the way.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage to Fiji. Still they come. Everyone searching for a bit of extra space there to get over the try line. Taken in by Natnoa. And they work the blind side.
No hands now.
It would be appropriate timing if the Fijians could get a try now.
Advantage, high tackle.
Keeps them in the race somewhat. Behind by 19 points at the moment. For the Irish, it's all about their defence being tested. Still they come, the Fijians.
Last feed green.
Pick up and go has been the order of the day. Now what do? Pretty much the same old, same old.
That's short on the goal line.
They're very close to the goal line now. Once again, just held up short.
That's a double movement. Offside.
The Irish were offside. There was a double movement there, so he was obliged to blow his whistle.
Captain.
Should be a penalty. There's a choice.
High tackle.
There's a high tackle penalty.
Offside and
An offsides penalty, a little bit closer to the poles.
Basically just here.
Which is one option I don't think they'll be taking.
Offside and high tackle. Number 2.
It's Danny Sheehan.
Maybe a pick and go, Rob.
Yeah. It's
Right
attack.
Pick and go it is. Part of their rugby tradition. We don't always
Last feed
find
green.
teams picking and going. Now out it goes. That's better play from them. And Gavula is in.
Just a little bit of space on the outside. Isaiah Ravula has got in for Fiji. Exactly what Ireland did down on the other side of the field. The pick and go.
If the ball's clearly,
This time
if the ball's clearly
they
behind
unleashed the back line with a little bit of space, and it's always been down that left flank that they've managed to get a bit of purchase. And this time, Ravula gets the try.
No, Thomas scored before.
It's almost like they had opportunities prior to that to just
will have a
play
restart.
into the second channel or a little bit wider where there's a bit more space to work with. But I
There will be a
suppose, you know,
restart.
these are 18, 19,
There will be a
20-year-old boys. They all want to score tries and they want the action.
Stick to the system, again.
Well, what is the system?
Exactly.
So already successful with one conversion, Isaiah Ravula. This time it's past the right hand upright. He's almost got a kicking style like his uncle, Richie Mwanga.
A quick chop at it. That's the try that he scored.
Rob, did you ever kick a conversion?
Penalties and conversions.
Both of them. At school when you were playing flower.
Frustrated fly at that.
But you heard the hooter in the background, so
That was good.
Fijians.
No, it's not white.
I think it's going to come out Irish side now.
There was a knock on.
There was a knock on, so that's going to surely be half time. So it is. Irish will go into half time knowing they've been tested on many occasions, but very comfortable with a lead of 26 points to 12.
For the first time, the iconic Pebble Beach welcomes the Women's US Open. Got it.
What a champion. Fabulous.
Women's US Open starts Friday, live Sky Sports 6. Coverage brought to you by DBS Home Ventilation. This is the Samurai Code. Proud clans who embody the warrior way.
Sensational from Japan!
Will clash for the Challenge Cup in the land of the rising sun.
Ruthless from this New Zealand 15.
Lipovitanti Challenge Cup, Japan 15, All Blacks 15. Saturday, live Sky Sport 1.
You see that? Is that the two-wheel drive GLXR? Yep. 6-speed auto transmission with sports mode. Magnificent. There's more.
It's the Mitsubishi Beast Runout with deals across the Triton range.
Greg Grover from Nova. Yes, we do offer great value mobile now. Our mobile multi-saver combo gives you endless mobile data from just $29 a month. Plus, you'll enjoy endless calls and texts to New Zealand and Australia. Even better, you can get up to 5 SIMs on your account and everyone gets 3 months free. Yes, it's ideal for small businesses too. Just head to our website. Well, I don't necessarily rhyme. Not all the time.
This is what inspires us. This is Kiwi, and we are your bank.
DIY July is the perfect time to declutter your home.
2-door cupboard, $127.73. Heavy-duty storage tub, $34.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. Vision without execution is just hallucination. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse.
All electric Mustang Mach-E from $79,990 drive away.
This is the biggest sporting event on the women's side in the world. Let's go.
brilliantly with the finish. Unbridled joy.
Marta, full of the tricks.
From the angle. Wendy Renard. That's what she's all about.
Well, how good is that?
The LPGA, live all season with Sky Sport.
Half time at the Donny Craven Stadium. Ireland leading Fiji by 26 points to 12. It's been a fine display from both these sides, full of running. And Ireland were the first to get them on the scoreboard. Strong running. A number of players surging towards the line, but it was the carry coming in from Brian Gleeson that got them on the board. First up, that was within the first 5 minutes of the game. A number of lineouts. Didn't quite get the driving ball going. This time around they did. As Ireland now going for the line once again. Danny Sheehan, who's right in the back of it, managed to get over the line. Defense from Fiji, not quite the strongest when it comes to stopping of the driving more. And Sheehan in the pocket to ensure that Ireland get their second. Then it was time for Fiji. Exactly the same as Ireland, the opposite side of the field. A number of pick and goes. And eventually, he's the loose head prop that manages to get over the line. And Fiji had their first try.
Short!
All penalties tended to go for the
Fiji offside.
The line out. All the quick taps from Fiji. A strong surge from the line coming from Divine. And again, it was the pick and go that managed to get the try for Ireland. It's their third. Loose head prop. As Magoon on the other side, George Haddon gets the try for Ireland. Then the strong run from Divine, ensuring that get ever closer to the line. And this time, the second coming in from Brian Gleeson. Went up to the TMO just to ensure that he was on his feet when he scored it. And that he was. Then Fiji with the opportunity. Ravula getting over for his try. A lot of sustained pressure on the try line of Ireland. Finally deciding to go wide. A bit of space utilised and strength to get over from Isaiah Ravula. Handling errors for Ireland, had more of the possession. And the territory pretty much been all in their favour. Penalties conceded would be a concern for Fiji. Just the 4 tries. Bonus points already for Ireland in that first half. And the turnovers one, just the 2. Been strong over the ball. One of those was Danny Sheehan. It's been pretty good around the park. Highest tackle score is now outbound with Brian Gleeson. And you see all those tackles made. Fiji making a game of it. 11 tackles will be a little bit of concern, particularly on the left flank. Lineouts haven't been the best for Fiji. Now they have the scrums. They've been under a bit of pressure. Ireland will not be happy with those 2 that they've lost, which were in areas of the field where they'll expect to get points. And the second half to come in just a moment.
Coverage brought to you by Jaguar. Open J-Bay starts July 13th. Live Sky Sport. Coverage brought to you by World Surf League.
Rising rent plus 2 jobs equals tired parent. Tired parent plus rising food prices equals 1 sandwich. 1 sandwich plus hungry sister equals half a sandwich. Half a sandwich plus maths equals too hungry to think.
The cost of living crisis is now causing a cost of learning crisis. Help feed kids so they can focus on problems they should be solving.
It's the league show where mana meets footy eye to eye.
I'm Adam Bay, yes, and I'm still here.
Where our Māori and Pacifica Rugby League stories have a voice.
I'll come back home and look after my people.
A show that champions the amazing contribution to our awesome game.
Particularly the Maori players and Pacifica players.
And a home where players can speak their truth.
Yeah, I'm from Otago and I'm proud to be from Otago.
The Dish. New episode Thursday, Sky Sport 4.
Sam Casey is an agent with a secret.
You're kidding me.
If you need a problem to disappear or make trouble vanish, he's your man, your Gemini man.
Oh, you bet I am. And relax, I'm one of the good guys.
Sam is in terrible trouble.
He's always undercover.
You are my favorite spy.
Gemini Man, Friday on Jones 2.
Reach for the stars, like a black fern.
Hands up, clap, clap, feeling it. Don't stop if you're digging it. Let go, let loose, we're killing it. Straight to the top, yeah? Hands up, clap, clap, feeling it. Don't stop, no, you're digging it. Let go, let loose, we're killing it. Straight to the top, yeah?
How good from the Blackburns!
Canada, Black Ferns. Sunday, live, Sky Sport 1.
FIFA Women's World Cup, live on Sky.
What a beautiful picture there of the mountains surrounding Stellenbosch, and halftime here at the Donny Craven Stadium. It's that 14-point lead that Ireland have and are enjoying at the moment. They're looking very much the part for it, but it hasn't been easy for them. Well, you are in Africa, up in the mountains, relaxing, taking it easy. The Irish support has been excellent in this tournament too. We saw some of those stats a little bit earlier, Rob, which you spoke about, and you mentioned the penalties they conceded Fiji. Obviously, that is a worry for them, but they'll be happy that they've sort of had enough possession to do something with it.
Yeah, they've made a game of it, there's no question. Really attacking flair there. There's been quite a bit of kicking, but certainly from the perspective of Fiji, they've kept the ball more in hand. They've tried to. Stayed away from driving mauls very much.
So Ireland very much at the top at the moment there. That's, of course, as it stands at the moment, bearing in mind it could change, of course. And England are playing up against Australia. They are ahead by 7 points to 3 when we last heard. Fiji out of it completely. So, you know, England really fighting for the opportunity there, obviously, of getting 4 tries too and a bonus point. Then it'll be down potentially to the difference in points. So these pools are very, very tight, one's got to say.
And mark the dawn of a new era for rugby. In 1823, William Webb Ellis caught the ball and ran with it during a football.
Well, we started off this tournament with plenty of rain, and but the sun shines out here in Cape Town, and I also just believe that the weather reports are that the rain is something of the past. You never quite know, but it does provide for a better opportunity of viewing some exciting rugby and playing some exciting rugby too. So that last game there in Auckland in 2014, which is a long time ago, was won by the Irish, and those 38 points included 3 penalty tries that were scored as they swamped the Fijians, and they did the same as well in 2013. So they have not lost against the Fijian nation at this level, under 20s. It's interesting as well, the Irish have had so many players that have gone through the ranks, you know. Conor Murray in particular, with 114 test matches, is the most represented guy who's been through the under-20 ranks. And you look at the number of statistics of players that have gone from here to international level, it's maybe not surprising, but it's really good to see that continuity and that flow has been there.
The Irish system in general has been much improved over a number of years. That's from their juniors, their sevens, now competitive as well. Their ladies and their men's side. And it's right throughout all the 4 provinces.
The sevens wasn't for a while, wasn't really very much part of the mix, and sort of like picked that up, haven't they?
They have that. I think just the concentration on the different variants. So I think sevens has finally got a bit more of a push from their side. And certainly their junior structures have been very strong, not just at Leinster where most of these kids come from, but certainly Ulster, Munster, and even down in Galway.
There are 1 or 2 players from Connacht that are in the mix here too. So Ravula will start the second half. Can the Fijians stay in the race? And I say stay in the race, points-wise. A little chip kick through there from James Nicholson. And the Fijians looking for a counter-attack, and that's something they're very good at too. But the Irish defence has been well organised. Again, it's always a question of what were the discussions. That ball just bouncing infield from Ravula. Maybe part of the discussion was, let's play in their half of the field. That's the Irish half.
In the first half, they got a number of meters, bringing it back on the blind side, on the left-hand side.
Quickly out there from Corley. Back in field, Nicholson coming in from the blindside wing. And starting this game with fair pace and then getting into the Fijian half of the field. It's a big tournament, this, for the Irish in many ways. You know, their best, they finished second as a losing finalist in 2016. Otherwise, you know, they haven't really been in the race. So this is a real opportunity for them with a very good team that they've got. McNaughter with the throw-in from Basilala. Oh, nearly an interception, but now this is what they like to do. Have they got men running with them? They have. Brilliant play this from the Fijians. Can they finish it off with a try? Yes, they can. Captain Modi Murray with a try within 2 minutes of half-time.
Excellent running rugby here from the Fijians. It was the attempted intercept that just opened up the gap. Line out one for them. Matthew Lynch goes for the intercept. He misses it. It opens the gap for a run down the middle, and in support comes Mota Murray. He has enough legs to get himself home. Strong handoff, gets the try. And Fiji with all the running in the opening stanza of the second half.
Oh, Modi Murray there with the ball under the wrong arm. But he only had one thing that he was going to do. He switched it over there to stop McErleen from hauling him in. Excellent try then from the Fijians. This is what they're capable of in counter-attack, virtually from their own 22. The Irish don't want to rest on their laurels, and they won't, as we know them as a nation. Five meters in from the touchline. They're not going to allow the conversion. And Ravula was very naughty because he knew what the countdown was, the seconds that you've got to finish that off, and he didn't time it correctly.
It almost puts a bit of a blight on. It was an excellent try. Set up for the running in by Mota Murray, the captain.
Great kick in from Matthew Lynch. taken by Nicholson. No problem with that at all. Or was there? There was a double knock there, so I'll come back for the scrum to Ireland.
You've got 90 seconds. It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
George Hatton just wants to have a chat to his forwards there. Wants them well organised for this first up scrum in the second half.
Sort of how tight those pool standings are, so points difference important. Perhaps that was the chat.
That is the other point, Rob. You're 100% right. You know, it's not just the 5 points that you get from a victory and 4 tries. It's the points difference. And those pools will tell the story. Irish backline 5 metres back in sprinting position. Get to the opposition quickly. Oscar Crawley waiting for it. It's a good strong scrum that from Ireland. Now Nicholson. A strong boy as well. James Nicholson on the right wing for Ireland. Taken up by Joe Hopes, the Ulsterman. There really has been quite an arm wrestle up front between these two packs of forwards. Ireland searching for a gap somewhere along the line. Captain Diarmaid Mangan. Lynch. Onto Brian Gleeson. A little chicken wing pass from him. There's going to be a penalty for a dangerous tackle, I think.
Could have been all the way back for that scrum.
It's back to the scrum, yeah. Penalty against Moses Magoon, and who scored the first try there for Fiji.
There's that scrum. Another strong one from Ireland. Bit of momentum up the left, and the right side comes in.
Securing the line out from Ireland. And here they come, the Moor heading preciously close to the touchline, but they've managed to keep it in field. But it comes the way of Fiji now. I'll tell you what, there's a bit of verbal down there. Not foul language or anything, but just lots of encouragement, energy, whatever we want to call it.
It's a good stop of the driving Moor. Actually walked over a bit earlier. Fiji piling the numbers in.
Sheehan with the throw, and it goes Fiji's way. Basalala unable to make use of that. Maybe a scrum here for the Fijians. There's a lot of backpatting on the Fijian side too. Maybe there was some encouragement at half-time too, and of course that try, I think, from their captain has really made the difference.
Quite the opposite on the side of Ireland. See those handling errors. They'll be more upset with the way the line-out isn't functioning at this present time. It's always a great weapon of theirs. Well,
Philip Basalala needs a decent scrum here from Fiji. For him to get out of the way. He gets that. Now Ravula. The little chip kick through. They love this sort of rugby, the Fijians, and this is why they're able to score points. Here they come again, still at it, at the line. The finishing touches. What a try that is. Wakanalaga, rather Potensi Fina with the try. Such good running there and offloading at the right times.
It's certainly got a section of this crowd on its feet, waving the Fijian flag. Lovely bit of running, just the nudge through first coming from Ravula. Sets up nicely. Error coming from Ireland, but back on the inside, and it's just that free-flowing that we so often seen in their sevens game. And the try for Fiji, an excellent one from the own half, from a set piece. Ireland a bit on the back foot at the moment.
Patrici Finau will be really happy with that try, as with the rest of his team, which again just keeps them not too far away from that Irish score. Bearing in mind, Ireland have not scored any points yet in the second half. Fiji have 2 penalties, or rather 2 tries, and this man could well have got 2 points if he'd kicked the last conversion quickly enough. He's timed out. It's not going to happen again. And this time the kick has gone absolutely wayward from a man who's kicked so successfully in this tournament.
See the back end of that try once again. Final pass coming from Nalasi. The try going to Finau.
So Ireland have brought on Sam Prendergast in the fly-off position, and the man leaving the field is McErleen. So they'll do a little switch there. They've got a fair number of players that can play in different positions. I assume Matthew Lynch would go to the fullback position. But we'll see. Fielded by number 8, Sir Masu.
Tackle now, Green.
Starting to find a little bit of momentum and don't seem to be worried, the Fijians, about playing in their own half of the field. Their style of rugby is such that they can really attack from anywhere. Goes up in the air from Ravula. It's a good kick there. Well fielded by Prendergast. Here's Matthew Lynch. Ravula decides he's going to run. Now, I just think also that the game plan, Rob, of actually taking the counter-attack to the Irish is really the way they should play. It's what's natural for them, instead of just trying to tackle it, pack them with the forwards all the time.
Well, keep them away from the driving more, which they've actually stopped very well in the second half. Keep them away from the scrum detail, because that's not their best asset.
To the back it goes to Joe Hopes. Now the urgency comes the way of the Irish. Brian Gleeson, he's had a busy game. Scored 2 tries in the process too, but the ball is wrenched away from him. There definitely seems to be a newfound energy in both of these teams, in fact. Lots of attacking opportunities, and that might go straight into touch. No, it doesn't. It bounces in field. Oh dear. The Irish left that alone. And now suddenly there's an opportunity here for the Fijians again. Quite happy to play a little bit of basketball on the rugby field too. When they get a sniff, they can be very dangerous. Ball falling out. Murray with a really hard charge, one could call it.
Tackle!
The kick from Ravula is not a good one. Given away possession number 1, and there's no one at the back for Fiji, so it's a long chase this for Wakalala. They're bouncing all over the place. And he decides to kick it out, so gets a decent enough touch finder.
Never a chance to run it, that would have been it. No defensive line really from Ireland chasing that one up.
So changes coming on for Ireland with Fox and Gus McCarthy, who come on in the hooker position, as well as Paddy McCarthy, who won't have a number on his jersey. He'll be taking over the scrum half position. Irish will bring on Charlie Irvine quite soon too. He's just warming up, getting ready. Big man from Ulster. Will take over one of the lock positions, either Joe Hopes or Evan O'Connell.
Time back on.
So all a little bit scrappy from that line out. No difficulty. Pendergast quickly through the hands. That sleight of hand from the Irish. Pendergast. A little inside out there from John Devine. And there goes Devine now. That's lovely passing. Now can they do a switch out? But they tried to do. And Nicholson will actually tackle without the ball. A little bit of pushing and shoving there from...
There's more frustration from the Irish players. They just can't get anything, continuity going. The passes aren't really going to hand. They're not getting the impetus they probably want against the Fijian side. They thought might roll over. But they haven't.
Very good discipline up to now. We had 2 late tackles. That stops now. Ball goes, anything off the ball, stops. That's what the penalty is for.
The 2 captains spoken to by the referee Morne Pereira.
So we've got, captain, you've got 2 options. One is here, and another one closer to the touchline.
So Pendergast gives the instruction. He'll take the penalty from closer to the touchline.
Number 8.
Fijians, just one change that we've seen from them with Nalasi coming on to the field. Haven't made the changes of more of them. They'll probably come within the next 5-6 minutes or so. 60-minute time.
Are you in or out? We've got 2 receivers. So come in, otherwise all the way to the back.
Captain Moti just been wrapped on the knuckles by the referee.
It's all back off white.
Well, here come the Irish then. Immediately run and Fox in the mix of things.
Lost it.
Out from Paulie. Here's Gus McCarthy. Or rather, Paddy McCarthy. That's good cleaning out there from the Irish, but again, the ball is pretty slow in coming out. Speed was not their bedfellow on that occasion.
On the line, Fiji.
But still they come. They're very close to the line. Paulie standing back, allowing the big men to drive for the line.
On the line, Fiji.
And they get over. Yep, they can. A very important try that for Ireland. Nothing to do with bonus points or anything like that, but just stretching that lead away from the Fijians.
Yeah, important try, considering the way Fiji has come out in the second half, put them under pressure, scored the points. A bit of relief for the Irish side that got one over the line.
Yep.
Just check the line up.
Try belonging to
no, it's backwards from white. Jimmo walk clear, but from
regular
lead backwards.
captain, Gus McCarthy, Paddy McCarthy rather. Conversion is good from Prendergast. And the lead is stretched.
Again, it's in the trenches, all the short pick and goes. And get over. An all-important try, just extend that lead. Hopefully take a bit of the wind out of the sails of Fiji. Come out firing in the second half.
Now, those are the first points for Ireland in the second half. Been a little bit more on the defence. Amazing that these 2 teams, Rob, made 187 tackles in total in that first half. I mean, that's almost unheard of that. Or maybe not so much in modern day rugby. We always used to say over 100 tackles is unheard of. Well, we've now seen that. Down the line they go. Now, which way does this ball bounce? This could be interesting. It bounces away from the Fijians.
No hands, no
3
hands.
Irishmen there, but somehow they've held on to
No
it.
hands.
Ireland
Ball is not out.
penalised
Don't play it.
playing the ball with the hands. Obviously, a ruck had been formed then, I assume.
Well, we can only assume.
Hands in the ruck.
They were both on their feet. They both seemed legal.
No, he said hands in the ruck there, so a ruck had been formed. 2 men over the ball. Ravula up towards the halfway line. Ireland bring on another change.
Number 12 sub.
This time Henry McErleen comes on. Rather, Harry West comes on.
On you. Open up. Open up. More. Come on.
So John Devine, the man who's come off the field, we should have used pretty much most of their bench.
It's all backwards.
This is what they enjoy, these men from the Pacific Islands. They love running with a ball. They find space that nobody else can find at times. And then they give away a silly penalty. Playing the ball on the ground when their knees or their body was down on the ground. Okanalaga was the man running downfield there. He seems to have got a little bit of a limp from the tackle. There's the tackle on him.
Yeah, no question about that. Silly penalty to give away.
5 in.
Now, keeping a clear head, particularly when you start getting a little bit tired, is important. Again, they're living on scraps, the Fijians, but they haven't given up the race, that I can tell you. Little pop passes every now and then. Now Finau, last try scorer.
Release.
Well, a couple of Sherman tanks that are flying in there as they get the ball. But when the opportunity comes, the pop pass or running off the ball, they find a lot of space, the Fijians. And down at the moment is Jula Masu.
Some big hits coming in from both sides. Ripping the tackle. He's unfortunately on the ground when it all happened.
Ready to go?
Well, just down in front of us
Let's go.
is the New Zealand team with their famous guitar.
Manager and coach, Matthew Sexton.
Well, let's just have a look at this at the moment. Australia are actually have edged into the lead against England, which by 17 points to 14. There's a real bun fight there to see who potentially could end up second in this Pool B. And it's the old foes, England against Australia. Australians ahead at the moment. Like the cricket team is in England in the Test Series, 2-0.
That's a can of worms you might be opening there, Gav.
It's all in the game, they say. All in the game. And right now, this game has the potential maybe to open up if Fiji can score again and convert a try. Puts them close to the Irish. Both teams now with bonus points with 4 tries. Of course, the Fijians know that they are out of the tournament as far as, you know, the ex-pool stages of the knockouts. They'll still be playing rugby, but they won't be in a position to win anything. So they're playing with a fair amount of freedom, which they do anyway, don't they?
That they do. Exciting to watch. The offloads and the tackle, running to space. A couple of big hits they're throwing in.
So Nalasi was the target for Noinoa, the last one. Same attempt again. This time it's won by the Irish.
It's outside. Take him back.
Lots of time here for Prendergast, who looks to kick a torpedo downfield. And again, not interested are Fiji, Masiwini on that occasion of kicking the ball. They want to keep it in hand. That's a knock on. I think the Irish really just want to make sure their defence is properly organised. You know, it's hard when you've got players running at pace at you like this, but just to stay in their lines, keep their tracks. And that they've done reasonably well, although they've conceded 4 tries.
The concern for them would be the lineouts that they've lost, particularly at such a huge attacking platform, not just for the 20 side, for Leinster, for all the sides. Net malfunctions makes the knock-on effect is it's quite tangible for them at the moment, isn't it?
Fiji have brought on Frank Lalogaivu. And he'll come on for the injured player at the moment, which is Patricia Finau, who scored the last try for Fiji. In that tackle, he seemed to have twisted his leg somewhat, so he's off the park. Lalogaivu will go into the centre position. In fact, he's gone to the fly-off position, I think.
Danny Sheehan also off the field, and very good shift he had. 15 tackles in that, 26 metres. And he got himself about.
So Max Klein's on in his place on debut for the Irish under-20 team in the hooker position. So Paddy McCarthy with the put-in. Not Paddy McCarthy, it's Oscar Corley, of course. So there's the long pass. Oh, that one's going to go into touch. Flicked on there from Henry McErlin.
That's just an opportunity. They've had the advantage in the scrums. They just could have held that one in a little bit longer. Get that penalty advantage, and they've got a free joker basically to have an attack, and the option of the line out further up the park.
James Nicholson with that wayward pass on that occasion has actually also had quite a busy game. Beautifully taken, and some good strong running there as well from Gus McCarthy. Taken up by Sam Berman. Corley. And they found a little bit of space here now. Again, it's the quick pass that didn't quite work. This time coming from Osborne. Well, it's a quick throw in, and a little bit of an arm wrestle there for the ball from the Fijians, but it's come the way of Ireland. Corley. Well, that pass might have been forward, but referee says no problem, keep going. Mangan that took it in. Prendergast, long pass there to Sam Berman. Strong tackle on him. Charlie Irvine right over that ball there. And they're getting a lot more possession right now, Ireland, but unable to make too much headway. And tackled back by the Fijians. Prendergast searching and probing for that corner flag. That'll be the kick downfield from Ravula, who's also not out. Taken by Lynch. Now Prendergast. Change of direction there. That's good work that Toussaint Berman.
Never supporting body weight. Never supporting body weight.
That could be quite a vital penalty to give away
22.
At this moment in the game. Ireland just, Fiji rather, just in a bit of an arm wrestle, head on a bit on the back foot. This might just release that pressure that they've been mounting on them throughout this little period.
The question is, how do Ireland manage the game for the next 15 minutes? They've got all the points that they need. They need to secure the victory, of course. What is it that they do, you know? And I think they're pursuing more and more points, which comes back to your point about points difference, points for and points against, ultimately, in the tournament. That might happen. Because when you're playing against a team like Fiji, you've got to be very careful. You know, it could come at you right up to the 80th minute.
Use it.
Ravula with this kick safely into touch. Gets them out of their 22, the Fijians. Brought on Lasara Valuma, the Fijians.
Those lineouts still proving to be a problem for Ireland.
Trying from Gus McCarthy. Prendergast, it's a great ball to get. Nicholson with a run. Brilliant play this from the right wing. He really has done his bit in this game. He's been so much part of it, where often wingers are basically left out wide. He's entered every equation just about that the Irish have offered.
A line out that functions effectively. Straight up and high over at his Mangan. And just that pass on the inside. The gap opens up wide. A lot of work to do to finish it off. But he's done that in style. Is James Nicholson.
No problem as well with the conversion.
The relieved Irish side. They have an easy enough try scored from the set piece.
That might just have settled things at the end of the day. Again, we have a gremlin in the team sheets. Andrew Osborne, the man who scored that try, not Nicholson.
Wing in front. It's 15. Option. Scrum. Or retake. Scrum. Number 15.
Yeah, the Fijians in front of the kickoff, so off they go. Back to the halfway line. With that try from Osborne and the conversion from Prendergast, now 18 points in the lead, and must be feeling a lot more comfortable with just over 10 minutes left of this game. They'll want to pursue more points if they can too. It might come down at the end of the day to teams being above another one because of the points difference.
Nothing steady about that after the engagement.
Both front rows, too much movement on the set. Your first scrum, set, get stability. Let's move over a bit.
Well, Josh Keener getting a talking to from the referee there. This is his first scrum. Ireland bringing on Max Klein.
Yeah, get stability. Go.
Clear gap.
So Oscar Corley from Leinster will have the put in here.
Point. Set.
His partner at fly half, Sam Prendergast, also from Leinster, played in the URC in fact, in the United Rugby Championship. Ball going a little bit astray, held up there from Philip Basilala.
No hands. Advantage, come back from knock.
A good refereeing from Morne Ferreira, just allowed the opportunity of the game to flow. Come back now for the penalty. As Fiji bring on two more replacements, Ravika Togo and Semi Takitani.
Keep the gap on body. Don't lean forward.
Moses Magoon, the first try scorer of the match, is the man who's left the park.
Let's keep it up. Crouch. Point. Set.
That scrum was backpedaling somewhat, but they managed to hold on to it, the Fijians. And a long pass. On the right wing there, Masuwini hasn't had many opportunities, hasn't sought many opportunities either. Sort of broken play is very often the best friend of the Fijians. Oh, the charge down. There's a chance. Oh dear. Max Klein unable to hold on to it and then kicks the ball away in disgust. And those are the standards that he sets 13, for himself.
1-3, 13.
Got himself in the right place, got the charge down, and just reaching for it. Unfortunately knocked it on.
But just watch him now, will we see it? Hoof the ball away.
Let's go.
It wasn't a thing of beauty, I might add.
No, not poetry, emotion at all. No.
Guys, just wait, time off. Got a good play there. Right, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Crouch. Point. Big scrum, please. Thumbs off. It's not difficult. All that game, we had good scrums with a proper gap. Since you two came on, we don't have that. On the bind, keep your gap, get your balance and stability. Let's scrum.
One area that the Irish side will be very content with will be the scrum, and set up a bit and go forward that they've had from the set piece. I think he is pleased with the lineouts.
Point.
It's definitely a facet where Fiji has been under a lot of pressure.
So it was a decent scrum ball that they got. Gavula unable to find his way through the gap. Got a lot of energy, these guys from Fiji. They really haven't given up, but what they have done now is given away a penalty.
Preventing a contest.
No doubt. They'll just kick for the corner once again and rely on that reliable line out.
Evan O'Connell getting himself over that. Also had a lot of effort into the game, number of tackles, a couple of carries.
Numbers?
Well, it's good effort from him. In fact, he and Joe Hopes have been a good combination in this match when they've been together.
Front lifter.
Ravula with a decent enough kick. He's struggling with a leg injury. He's staying on the park, but he really is hobbling along the fly half for Fiji.
It's actually rather a tough penalty, that one. Didn't quite get behind the jump at all. He was side on.
The throw-in goes wide there from Kina. Cross kick from Prendergast. Which way does it bounce? Well, not favourably for the Irish. Fiji have a scrum advantage right now. They have possession, so referee waiting to see if there is any advantage. This will be over pretty shortly, I would think. No, back they come. Oh dear. A tackle behind the referee's back, which must have been just an error of judgment, or maybe think that he had the ball in hand, Oscar Corley.
No, there have been a couple of those, just off the ball, a little bit late. Not late enough to really give away a penalty. Answer the ball, just not assisting.
I don't quite know what the reason would have been for the tackle, because look there we go.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. Potentially could be a yellow card. They do have a warning for that type of play.
Captain 14. 14.
I think the belief was that he actually was receiving the ball.
Clearly after the whistle, I gave you a warning for after that. There's a yellow card. No, so after the whistle, you have to stop.
Oh, there's there are 2 yellow cards that are being offered here. Again, the referees making sure they stamp the authority on these games. The players know for certain that they've got to be extremely careful. So our play of the match for this game, with a little smile in his face there as he gets squirted with water by his players, is Ireland's Danny Sheehan, the hooker. It was a tight race at the end of the day. Brian Gleeson stood out as well. And Danny Sheehan gets the nod eventually. He's off the bench, onto the bench at the moment, having done his bit during the course of the game. The Fijian struggling with cramp too, I think.
Clear access to the jumper.
Bear in mind they're down to 13 men at the moment, Fiji, so it'll be hard to stop this Irish onslaught as they keep heading for the line. Here they come, flying for the line. I think that's a try, yeah. Gus McCarthy gets his second try for Ireland.
There's a clear grounding.
Got 2 tries for Gus McCarthy, 2 for Brian Gleeson. Excellent play. Prendergast, who hasn't kicked that well during the course of this tournament. And he's got 2 conversions since coming on as a replacement. And he's now got 3. It's a lot more comfortable on the ball. So this was what you could probably call a runaway try, as the Irish forwards got the motion going. It's a little bit of work to do there for Gus McCarthy. He'll be finished it by taking 3 players over the line.
Get everyone behind you.
Ravula with a kickoff. Absolutely perfect. Knocked on by Ireland. Quickly out there from Zach Kama. That's good now. They still continue to probe close in the Fijians. Looking for the big men to carry. That's one of them there, Lasara Voluma. Good extension of advantage there by Morne Ferreira.
Now let's just move off. Move off. No. Listen, there's a lot of commentators on the pitch now since you all came on. I suggest you have a chat to them. Me to do my job. Chat.
Well, there's been a swing of fortunes as well in terms of the England-Australia match, which has a lot of significance. England are apparently back in the lead. They did lead early on. They then went behind against Australia, and now they're back in the lead again. So that's the situation with Pool B. Let's look and so it's an all-or-nothing situation there for England and Australia.
Clear gap and stability. Crouch! Point!
Just wonderful how competitive this tournament has been. With all the countries operating. So all the countries, all 12 of them, of course. And Fiji, despite the fact that they can't make the semis, they only have 1 point. They certainly are giving everything they've got. Good to see. Out from the Kama. Kevedar still making the tackle on that occasion, but slowing down the ball carrier. Kama. So Basilala, who's on the field too, the regular scrum half. He's had to move out into the centre position. Injuries taken their toll to an extent, and of course also the yellow card, which hasn't helped their cause, the Fijians. So tap and go is the call this time for Nalasi. Keeping the ball in hand is something the Fijians enjoy doing. Peter in the background. Is this where the game's going to finish, or can they get a try to finish it off? Still coming, still going. That's great passing that from the Fijians, and yes, they are going to get another try. And Navona is the man credited with that try.
Don't play me, play the game.
Now, we heard from the referee a little bit earlier on that there were too many commentators in the Irish team. And that's one thing they also want to think about very carefully when they meet tougher opposition. And although this has been tough opposition in a lot of ways, the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect that. But it's been a bruising encounter.
Time is running.
Time is on, and they've got to make that kick as quickly as possible. You can see the clock winding down. 60 seconds. Navula will not be taking the kick. He's struggling with a leg injury. They've had to go and fetch the ball, number one. And then Lalagaivu will be taking the kick. No, that's not going to go straight, so that will be it. A game of 74 points here between Ireland and Fiji, with the Irish coming out victors. They had to work hard for that victory, but they certainly, if you consider the fact that they scored 4, 5, 6, 7 tries, just counting through my score sheet here, against the 5 of Fiji. So really plenty of tries in this game. Plenty of excitement too, but it was a little bit of a grind one feels for the Irish to get themselves into a better position. They didn't start well after half-time, the Irish, but as the game progressed, so they did their bit. So the final scoreline here at the Donny Craven Stadium in the middle game, one to come still, is Ireland 47, Fiji 27. So everybody shaking hands. They know they've been in a rugby match, all those players. If we have a look at the statistics as well, I'll tell you that, Ireland will be happy. They won 4 turnovers and they had to work really hard for those as well. Fiji, far too many penalties that they conceded, but 17 handling errors for the Irish. And these are things that they would really want to try and improve. Have a look at the tackle count on both sides. That's close up to 300 tackles made in the course of one match. It's an incredible statistic, that it really is. And both teams struggled a bit with the lineouts at times. But otherwise, there was an evenness about the contest for a large part of the game. And the occasion demanded it. The Irish could turn on the taps and get the points that were needed. So there are lots of backpacking here to the players there, and Rob Kempson is downstairs to do the interviews.
Matsumura, you must be very proud of your boys' efforts.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the Almighty for today's game, and to be honest, I'm really proud of the boys for the effort they've given.
They really climbed in, particularly towards the latter part of that second half.
Just a few mistakes from us, but we'll go and fix our mistake.
Few words for your boys?
Just a word for my boys. I'm really proud of them for the effort and the energy they gave for the good fight we had today.
Grant, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So the Irish are assembled in a circle in the middle of the field, and no doubt part of the discussion will be the commiseration as well after the death of Greg Oliver, the father of Jack Oliver, the scrum half of the Irish, who sadly died yesterday in a paragliding accident. So the Pool B standings, there are Ireland with those 13 points. Brilliant play from them, despite the fact that they drew against England, but they picked up everything there. England in second position at the moment, but England is still playing Australia, and that might also change somewhere along the line. Australia are ahead of England at the moment. So beautiful mountains around Stellenbosch, yeah, and it's full time then. Ireland 47, Fiji 27.